Oh boy. Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. Yeah, Ravens lose. Justin Tucker can't make a field goal. Eagles are headed to the playoffs. They're going to win the division. Not a great Monday. Not a great Monday, but we're going to go through it anyway. Talk about all the games, and here we go. But before I do that, I want to get my thoughts out here about planting your flag or the celebration after the game. Just want to maybe it'll make me less angry about the Ravens situation if I just get this off my chest first. This is my take on it. Planting a flag, celebrating after you win shows a lot about who you are as a person. I think it's a negative quality. I don't think there's too many positives you can take away from it. I think you can chalk it up to kids. So depending on the age, I think it's a big deal. Depending on whether or not you've done it before, it's just not a good look. It's classless, not a good look. However, there's zero excuse. There's no oh, I don't care how old you are or it hasn't happened. There's an absolute zero excuse to start fighting people for doing that. So what Ohio State did is disgusting. Florida State's disgusting. It was worse in the Ohio State game, but it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to yourself. It's embarrassing anybody supporting it, anybody cheering it on. It's a joke. It's so stupid that I only have one example of winning a game on the road as a high school basketball coach where I can somewhat relate. So we beat Woodlawn my varsity year. It was a Monday afternoon, one of the top two or three games I ever coached. I guess we're probably a 20, 25 point underdog if somebody was doing that. We were really not supposed to win. But there is Monday afternoon and the crowd was kind of dead and they just didn't play well. So it was like a 50, the game was in the early 50s, right? So nobody could really score. And we were down. We got lucky. Something happened with like 30 seconds left that was like one lucky call. I think the ball went out of bounds. Anyway, all I remember is the game is tied with about 6 seconds left in the game. And they had the ball. So guy goes down the court and they called an offensive foul on their point guard for going like with like 3 seconds left. They called an offensive foul, and I was like, "Oh my god, that we got the ball!" I was like, "All right." Yeah, I call timeout, draw something up. Nothing works. Like if we're struggling to get the ball in, so they throw it into my big guy, and with 1 point something left on the clock, they call a reach-in foul on Woodlawn. So the game's gonna go to overtime if they don't call this foul. And I don't know if we're going to win the game. I hope we win. Hope none of them are listening, but I hope we're going to win. But most likely we're not. Just being honest. But instead they call this reach-in foul, and so they're in the double bonus. Like we get two shots with 1 point something on the clock, and the kid makes the first free throw. So after we win the game, all the kids on my team are, because he makes the free throw and then he misses the second one. So they get the rebound and they try to chuck it down the court. So the game's over and everyone runs onto the court. The kids on my team, then the JV kids, and whatever, maybe there was a couple of our fans that tried to do it. And my first instinct was there is a video of me screaming, and like basically grabbing the biggest kid on our team and yanking him away. And the only reason I'm doing that is I'm assuming somebody from Woodlawn, I'm not, has nothing to do with Woodlawn, just has to do with losing a game like that in their gym, whether it's one of their players or a fan, is going to punch one of my kids right in the face. Because you don't kick somebody when they're down. You don't celebrate like that. Like there's no value. We can go celebrate ourselves, enjoy the moment. But if you enjoy your moments at the expense of somebody else, it is not a great way to live your life. So my first instinct was like no celebrating. I don't want there to be a brawl. So if I'm Michigan's coach or if I'm coaching at that level, there's a 0% chance we're doing a flat. Like for what? For what? You're starting the fight. Now the other team shouldn't do anything about it because it's a stupid flag. It's pride. It doesn't matter. But yeah, that's my takeaway from it. Zero excuse on Ohio State's part, but no reason to do that to begin with. It's just weak. I call it fake tough guys. Fake tough guys are people that start a problem that know that someone else is going to break it up. You got your helmet on, game's over, there's police. you don't really, really, really want a problem. So, all right, that didn't really help me take my mind off anything. So, whatever. Hopefully, that was somewhat entertaining to listen to. But now we're gonna go through this Ravens game and everything that happened yesterday because it was a disaster of a day. The Seahawks and the Colts pulled it out for me for my future bets. Great, but still fighting uphill battles with both of them anyway. It was just a horrible, horrible game. And the reason why it was so horrible is because there's nobody to blame after the game. Like, if you want to nitpick at Lamar missing a couple throws, go for it. But you're going to sound like an idiot because you just don't understand football. Like, he's not going to be perfect. He was great yesterday. He's always great. Like, I wish he made a couple more throws too. But, like, the game comes down to momentum and the kicker. Like, it just is what it is. Like, if you're not going to make those field goals, it messes everything up. It puts pressure on the team to overperform, and that's what happened. The offense ends up stalling out, but we're not playing complementary football. That's what Tucker has let us down with. And I don't want to just low hanging fruit here, but I'm not going to pretend like there was something else that came away from the game. If anything, I come away from the game feeling better about our chances to win the Super Bowl. The defense was great. They couldn't get off the field on the last drive. Yeah, they got worn out, and finally Barkley got rolling. But they were great. They were so great. They slowed them down. They got them off the field. It was 10, and it should have been 10-0. It was 9-0. And then Lamar, yeah, he missed Likely, and then he missed Flowers wide open on two plays. They just have to make those plays, and he didn't do it. But the Eagles are a really good team. I mean, it's the thing I got absolutely wrong about this season. It's the one thing that I'm 100% wrong about. There's no excuse. There's no, I didn't see it coming. I should have saw it coming. Saquon Barkley's great, and the Eagles' defense under Fangio is great. But we were better than them yesterday. We had the chance to win, and Tucker just sucks. I'm annoyed with him because off the field he's an asshole. I've heard that from multiple people, firsthand experiences. Just an asshole. Like, that's who he is as a person. Too many coincidences for that not to be his personality. And then when you watch him on the field, the arrogance after he makes a field goal, as if we have no reason to doubt him. Then he comes out and misses. All right. Yep, that's it. We'll just go on the road here for the playoffs. We'll probably beat the Giants by 70 points. We get a bye week, and then we're at New York, and then we get the Steelers at home. I don't know if we're going to get a home playoff game. It's not trending that direction, but I don't really care. We're gonna go to the playoffs, and Lamar is great. So I actually came away from the game being like, we'll be fine. We will. The Marcus Williams thing is interesting. If nothing else, Harbaugh doesn't give us any information. Marcus Williams is a healthy scratch. It looked like it was about to be a really big disaster because Hamilton gets hurt early in the game, but he comes back. And the Ravens defense was good enough to win. I mean, there's no other way to look at it. They just could not get off the field at the very end. But that's what the Eagles do. Eagles. So yeah, Marcus Williams, they got to figure that out. But besides that, the rest of the crew on defense, I thought, and that was without Van Noy. So I think we're good enough to win the Super Bowl. It's just a sour taste in your mouth when we're not playing complimentary football. And now these losses to the Browns and the Browns and the Raiders certainly are looming large here. So, all right. Still don't feel better. I'm thinking more I get this off my chest, I feel better, but not quite yet. So let's keep rolling. Steelers, Bengals. I just knew that. Like, I don't want to be hard on anybody because we all get bets wrong. I was 1-7 yesterday, but betting the Bengals yesterday was like the ultimate. You're trying to outthink things. Like, just don't do it. Either bet the Steelers or stay away because the Bengals are just they have no. They talk about not playing complimentary football. I mean, it's ridiculous. You're gonna look back on this Bengals roster and be like, they're 4-8, but they are. The Steelers are good. Oh boy, Russell Wilson looks really good. I mean, really good. I'm like, it was against the Bengals. We'll see how they look when they come here in 2 weeks, but they get the Browns at home next week. So I'm most likely going to win that game and sit here at 10-3 as the Browns play tonight. Short week at Pittsburgh. That doesn't sound great. So they're going to be 10-3 when they get here. Oh boy. So that's that. Bengals are at least done. Bengals are so bad. They just can't do anything right. They get the pick six as a gift to start the game, and they just can't do anything with it. Can't get the Steelers off the field. That defensive coordinator, Emma, whatever his name is, Lou, whatever. I guess there's a reason why he didn't get a head coaching job when it looked like that Bengals defense. He was getting all that credit for being a genius, shutting down Mahomes in 1 second half. Apparently, it was good enough because he can't figure it out. Bengals just not very good. All right, Vikings Cardinals played out just the way I thought it would play out, which is the Cardinals should have won the game and the Vikings find a way to win. Um, that was I didn't bet on that game, but that played out the way I thought because this Vikings team at home, there's just no reason to bet against them. But it was a good matchup for the Cardinals. They had it. They had them on the ropes. It was 19-6. They find a way to lose. Vikings are going to the playoffs as they're now 10-2. Like I mean, just is what it is. Like they're going to the playoffs. There's no other way around it. They are headed to the playoffs, and they legitimately have a chance to be the one seed. So they're kind of in the same position they were 2 years ago, which is they won all those close games and they were really good. Then they lost at home to the Giants in the wild card because nobody really believed in them. This defense is better than that defense was, so I like their identity. They still have Justin Jefferson. They've been Cardinals now in a tough spot as they're going to play Seattle this week. Chargers Falcons played out very much how I thought. Defensive game, quickest game on the board, and just run, 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 run. And Kirk Cousins is going to get people fired out there. That general manager is going to lose his job unless Michael Penix. I don't know if they bring him in. It was bad yesterday. Kirk Cousins just bad, bad, bad. Chargers rebound really well after that Ravens game. I didn't want to pull the trigger on the Chargers because all the trends and all the metrics and all that jazz was pointing towards the Falcons. It was a tough game for the Chargers, but Derwin James just all over the field, all over the field. I'm watching a lot of that game yesterday. Chargers win. Cousins throws the pick at the end. Chargers look like they're headed to the playoffs. They got 8 wins now. It's not a guarantee, but it's up there. Falcons tied with the Bucks. They got the tiebreaker over Tampa, but Tampa's going to win that division. Tampa's going to get them. Falcons, what a bad loss for them at home. Falcons not good. Seahawks beat the Jets. Should have won both of these bets. The only stupid bet I win yesterday is the Seahawks win the game. Chenault, the kick returner for Seattle, some of the worst fumbling I've ever seen on a kick return. Just giving away points. So it gives the Jets points there, or the Jets would not have gotten it because the Seahawks defense suffocated Aaron Rodgers, only gave him a couple good plays. Seahawks win. Geno Smith pulls it out. Seahawks now 7-5, feeling better about that bet as they got a 1-game lead on the Rams and the Cardinals. Aaron Rodgers, you can make the argument that pass that he missed to Garrett Wilson yesterday. So to set the scene, it is 21-7 as Chenault. So the Jets get a kick return for. Yeah, my bet was perfect. I mean, they get a kick return for a touchdown, so that would have put them at 14. And Chenault's just giving the ball away. So they got their other 7. Really, they only gave up 7. Anyway, it's 21-7. Chenault, the kick returner on Seattle, fumbles the ball. Jets get the ball. They're about to go up 28-7. It's second and goal or close to second and goal, 15 yards away, whatever it was. And Garrett Wilson, the star receiver for the Jets, makes a great move. Like, I could have made the throw. You could have made the throw. It was one of those throws. You don't say that very often on Sunday. Like, I could have made that throw. It's like, come on now. But really, that one, he was wide open. Wide open. Aaron Rodgers makes that throw. Anyway, he overthrows it. So it's like, damn. And you can see him just screaming right afterwards. Like, he knew it. He knew it. He already got Devontae Adams a touchdown. Garrett needs to eat. Jets are about to go 4-8. They're going to go on a run. They're feeling good about themselves. And then the next play, he does the pick six, very similar to what happened in London, where he just doesn't see the linebacker and he throws an interception for a touchdown, and the Jets don't score after that. Jets are done. The Aaron Rodgers is done. I'm assuming he'll play next year somewhere because he just seems like somebody will sign up for the Aaron Rodgers show. But wow, just devastating to his legacy, because whatever fans he's lost off the field, he's probably gained an equal amount or even more with his social views. But all of those people that agree with his social views also liked him as a football player first. It's not like he's a spokesman for something. It's just like, hey, we liked him as a football player and we agree with him off the field. So now you get to lose those people because he sucks. And now you're going to start nitpicking even more at his social views because it's like, Man, it's just a really bad look for him. Really bad luck. So anyway, Jets done for sure. Seattle's they're alive. They've won these last two games in dramatic fashion. Speaking of dramatic fashion, I don't know how the Colts won yesterday. I'm so happy they won. I still need them to win 3 out of 4 games. They have a bye this week, and then they play at Denver, which is basically the playoff game the following week. They have to win that game. But the way that Anthony Richardson led that fourth quarter comeback, that fourth quarter drive, was nothing short of uh, a miracle. He converted 3 4th downs. He is so awkward back there. He is so awkward. He just does not have a feel for what's going on. But he made the plays yesterday. He made them in that last drive. It's 24-17 Patriots. First, it's 4th down on their own 41. The Colts, 4th and 2 at the 2 minute mark. He runs for a first down. Then it's fourth and I forget, like 4 or 5. He rolls out. He looks dead. He leaves the pocket before he should, but then he hits the back. He hits the tight end over the middle for 11 yards. Then they end up with 2nd and goal on the 2, and they don't trust him. They don't give him the ball. Taylor can't get in. So now we got 4th and goal at the 3, and he makes a perfect pass, like perfect pass, and then they go for 2. And I'm like, really? What's the play here? And they just run him right up the middle, like Cam Newton style, and he gets in, and they win the game. So Patriots, Drake May is really good. I come away from that game like the Patriots are about to put it on the Colts, and the tight end drops the ball, leads to an interception, and so the Patriots are stuck at 24. May couldn't finish the game though. He's not Tom Brady. I'm sure that's what the Colts. I'm sure that's what the Patriots fans were thinking as they had to walk home in the cold yesterday. I hate Patriots fans, so well, I shouldn't say I hate Patriots fans, but happy when they lose. Colts win, they're alive. Patriots are not alive, but the Patriots have Drake May. So the Patriots, I would pencil in into the playoffs next year. They have a ton of cap room. If they do the right things, Drake May is really good. I could see the Patriots being a wild card team next year. Who I don't see being a wild card team, well, certainly not a wild card team this year, is the Jaguars. I don't know what they're doing, but it's not good. Jacksonville loses. So they hit on Trevor Lawrence. Other people can talk about that for an hour because I don't know. I'm just not going to kill somebody when that's how football used to be played. So if you're going to kill him, we're going to have to spend hours talking about the history of football. Is it a cheap shot? Is it a dirty play? The linebacker on Texans that hit Lawrence? Yeah, it's all those things in today's football. I just look at it big picture, and I'm thinking, I don't know how that doesn't happen more often. I really don't. So I'm just not going to kill the guy. I feel like people are entitled to, in a passion mistake. He did hit him in the shoulder. I don't think he was trying to kill the guy, but the guy has a bad shoulder. Lawrence has a bad shoulder, and he's out there running, and it's freaking football. And I'm going to hit him as hard as I can. You want to throw me out of the game? Throw me out of the game. I'm not going to come in here and start preaching about player safety. I mean, I'm just not. It's how football used to be played. Um, I don't know what else to say. Are we supposed to ban him for life? Like they have fines in place. He gets fined. What am I supposed to say? He's a bad person. I'm just not willing to do that. I'm willing to say that he shouldn't have done that. We don't want people to hit people like that. But I don't know how it frankly doesn't happen more often. Running as fast as you possibly can at somebody and then they just decide to slide. I mean, hell, that's hard to do. So he did not hit him in the head. There's other hits that I think are a lot worse. It didn't look good and it knocked him out. And then the fight ensued. But yeah, my takeaway from that is make sure you check your moral high ground before you start, killing somebody for that play. That's that. Texans just keep doing what the Texans do, which is look terrible and find a way that they're going to be the 4 seed here in the playoffs and host either the Ravens or the Steelers or the Chargers. That's where it looks like it's headed. So not too much else on the Texans except I don't want to play them, but they're going to keep committing penalties and not protecting Stroud. Then they're an average team. They do those other two things. Don't commit penalties and protect them. They can win the Super Bowl. They have the biggest, highest ceiling and the lowest floor out of any team in the NFL. Titans, Commanders. Thanks a lot, Titans, for just playing a first quarter straight from hell. Should have just taken the Commanders or the under in Tennessee's points, but I took the under for the game. Great job, Ryan. Great job. Commanders killed the Titans. It was 28 to nothing. I don't even feel like talking about this game, to be honest. Commanders are 8-5. Doesn't mean that they're necessarily making the playoffs, but it helped. It helped. Speaking of helping, the Rams have officially put themselves in the middle of the playoff race as they're now 6-6, one game behind Seattle. Totally have an opportunity to make the playoffs, and the Saints are now eliminated as they lose a game that I didn't watch any of the game, so I don't know what else to tell you except Saints were winning and the Rams found a way to win. So Rams win, they beat the Saints. I'm too busy watching Justin Tucker. That's what I'm too busy watching. It really bothers me that he's such a jackass off the field because, yeah, pay him all this money, he does all these commercials. You want to be a jackass off the field, then you have to hit 90%. That's the rule. You want to be a jackass off the field, hit 90%. If not, then yeah, I don't like kicking people when I know they're trying their hardest. So you kick somebody when they're down, trying their hardest. Was he trying to miss? No. Do I feel bad for him though? No, because he seems to be a complete jackass off the field. So if you love Justin Tucker, convince me otherwise. I would appreciate a story or two that maybe could sway my opinion because I don't have a high opinion of him, and now he's not making field goals. So anyway, I didn't see any of the Rams game, and I didn't see very much of the Buccaneers game. Got to see the end of it as Baker. I knew that game was going to be ugly. I knew the Bucs would pull it out, but yet it goes over. Just all those points in the fourth quarter, and then they get the overtime. So I'm about to win. I wanted the Bucs to win. I have future on the Bucs, so I'm like torn because I'm like I can't win unless the game goes over because it's 20-16 Tampa. But then Bryce Young gets a touchdown, so now it's 23-20. And if it ends, I win. Instead, the Bucs get the field goal at the end, and then they get the field goal in overtime. So I was kind of hoping maybe there'd be a tie somehow, but there wasn't. 26-23. Bucs win. Bucs are going to the playoffs. They're going to get the Raiders at home next week. They have a softer schedule. They're going to get that. They're going to get a home playoff game, and the Bucs are a dark horse here to win the NFC. I'm telling you, the Bucs, they're fundamentally sound. Baker's really, really good. I don't care that they barely lost to Carolina. I knew that game was going to be ugly. It's a division game. It usually is ugly. Got to give them credit. All right. Well, it would have been nice to just go to sleep 1-3, but instead I go 1-7. And if you're following the bets, you can see I usually win the Sunday night games. Like that has been my Sunday night football record is pretty damn good. It's probably better than any other particular game. So one excuse I'll make for myself is it was not supposed to snow. That's why I made those bets. Potential snow showers in the second half came right out of Tarico's mouth as I'm placing the bets. So that's that. I'm reading reports like it's not supposed to snow and it's not supposed to be super windy. Instead, it's at least snowing really hard. And I'm like, well, this doesn't feel great for the Brock Purdy situation, but whatever. He still looked good on the first drive. Niners are up 3-0. Bills are up 7-3. Niners are going down the field. McCaffrey looks good. Man, McCaffrey looks really good. It's like the perfect game for him because he's like darting through the snow. Just looks pretty cool. And then they pitch the ball to him and he's hurt. Like he's done. Not only is he done, but it's a 5-yard loss on the play that they can't recover from as they miss the field goal. I don't even know if they missed the field goal. So that's how the game ends for me because once that field goal doesn't go in, the Bills go up 14-3, and Josh Allen just looks like a superhero running through the night, and the Niners can't stop it. Niners can't stop it without McCaffrey. They couldn't do anything, and Purdy just threw the ball 18 times. I mean, I lost a bet where he did not get his completions because he did not even get the pass attempts. So go figure that. So none of the prop bets were going to work. Everyone loses last night. If you touch any Niner prop bets, you're going to lose. So that's not fun. And yeah, 1-7 is the worst week of my football season. I was finally getting some momentum and just not good. So not good at all. I don't like being negative. I don't feel like sorry for myself. It's not like my life is ruined here. But part of doing a podcast in the morning and being like, all right, can I find one positive? Colts and Seahawks are positive. I just I didn't win any money off of them, and I still need them to win a bunch of games. So it's hard to be like, well, that's awesome. Instead, it's like, so the one positive I'll say, it's just I'll probably feel better. I'm sure the rest of you will feel better too as the week goes on. Even as I guess the next 2 weeks go on before the Ravens play, I'll kind of end the Ravens rant with this. The Ravens A+ game is still the highest ceiling outside of maybe Philadelphia. I still think it's better than the Lions and better than the Chiefs and better than the Bills. That Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry combo, when Lamar is rolling, if the defense plays as well as it's played the past 3 weeks, is the highest ceiling. So that was not the case with the Ray Lewis Ravens that beat Kaepernick in the Super Bowl. We did not have the highest ceiling. The highest ceiling that year was Peyton Manning and the Broncos, right? Like if their offense got rolling, they were unstoppable. We found a way to win. Then if the Niners offense, you can make the argument that the way Kaepernick ran through that Packers, I know you guys remember that Saturday wild card game, Niners Packers, as Kaepernick is like the world's greatest quarterback, just running through Green Bay. They can't tackle him. They can't do anything. Then they beat the Falcons, right? It was the Falcons. And then their ceiling was way higher than the Ravens that year in 2012. Way, way high. If both teams played the best they possibly could, Niners would beat us, Broncos would beat us. Hell, the Patriots would have beat us in the AFC Championship. But we found a way to win. This year's team, and that's why Ravens fans, myself included, it just doesn't, it's hard to get used to it because we never had the highest ceiling. We never had the best two players on the field, but we have for the past 5 years now, at least the best player on the field, and we're not getting there. So we're going to be underdogs this year because we're going to be on the road, but we have the highest ceiling. So I like that. I like that feel. I like that energy. The fact that they get to play the Giants the following week should put us in the playoffs. Because let's be honest, we're not in the playoffs. Like that's what happened yesterday. We're now 2 games up on the Colts, but we're not in the playoffs. So they still have to win 2 more games out of the last 4. I think they obviously get that with the Giants, and they get the Browns at home. So that should be fine. So, all right, let me get out of here. And you guys have a good day. What do we think about this Browns game tonight? I think the Browns beat the Broncos. I really do. I think it's a tight game. And just when you think you have an easy bet, put the Broncos in the teaser. I don't know. Be careful. Cleveland's defense is really good. Have a good day. Sorry if this sounded like a whatever. I don't know. It's not the most positive I've been. I know that much, but it is what it is. You move on. So appreciate you guys listening. Have a good day. Good luck with whatever bet you're going to make. And I'll see you in the morning. J Mart will be here. We'll at least talk college football and figure out what the hell's going on. Looks like Alabama's going to sneak in, though, instead of Miami. That'll be the number one topic if you're following that stuff. All right, guys. Talk to you soon.